Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
I'm here to save the day. I'm here to save the day.
Soon I will be invincible. Because comics. Welcome to Because Comics. This is episode 83. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and I'm joined by my co-host, the syndicated Mike Christensen.
You can catch me every week on Fridays. I'm also Tuesdays on TV Land.
Yeah.
Wednesdays on ABC Family.
How are you doing on ABC Family these days?
Well, it's actually Freeform. That's what they call that program.
Oh, really?
That network now. Yeah.
That's true. I believe they do. You're in a lot of these kind of like internet-based networks now.
It's because I hit 100 episodes.
Wait a second. Are you secretly Brainiac and you've invaded all of the network programming? Listen, this is a comic podcast.
Comic books.
At some point, I have to make a relation to comics.
That's fair. That's fair.
Now, Mike.
Now, Jay.
Yes. We've both established that our names are what they are.
That's true.
Should we talk about comics?
I can't think of anything else we want to talk about.
Okay,
so
fair
yeah,
enough. Okay.
Let's do that.
Sure. Guys, every episode, we talk about what is on our pull list. Now, Mike, can you inform the audience of what a pull list is? Because they've never heard us explain it before.
If this is a new episode, they haven't. Yeah. Every episode.
Excellent explanation.
I was really hoping Nick was going to cut that one, so oh well.
Too late.
Yeah, we talk about the comics that we are reading, and the name comes from when we used to go to comic book stores instead of virtual ones.
Back in the dark ages.
Back in the dark ages of 2015.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to a comic book store. If you have a comic book store in your area, you can go in there and set up a pull list where they will hold onto books. They will pull them out when they receive them and put them in a box, or however, probably a box, usually a box, and set them aside for you. And then when you come in, you're like, hello, my name is insert name here, and I would like to pick up my copy of insert whatever comic you're reading. They go, well, here you are, and they hand it over to you. That's a pull list. That's where the name of our segment, because what we do in this segment is we talk about current comics that are right now reading, comics that we're reading right now. Jay, what you reading right now, Jay?
That was the cleanest, most concise introduction to our pull list you've ever done, Mike.
The sad
I just needed
thing
to
is,
give you a clap.
That's probably true.
All right, guys, I want to talk to you about the comic, and I say the comic.
Yeah.
That I'm reading right now because
I don't know why I stalled so long. I'm so excited.
It's incredible. It's an Image comic.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Image, for everything that you give me consistently, and especially this. I'm going to say the name last. It is written by Jody LeHeup and Sebastian Girner.
No, you got to say the name because all I know about it is the name, and the name's so amazing.
And it is drawn by Mike Spicer and Neil Vendrell. And this creative team has come together to give us a comic by the name of...
Yes!
Shirtless Bear Fighter.
Yes!
Shirtless Bear Fighter is the name of this comic. The main character's first name is actually Shirtless.
No way.
People in the comic refer to him as Shirtless, and they do it in the context that you would refer to like Dutch, you gotta go on this last mission, except it is Shirtless. We need you back out there, Shirtless.
Oh my god.
And it is just incredible. Now, if you are feverishly looking up what the hell this comic is, congrats and welcome to the party. This is just an incredible run. It's only on issue 1 right now. I cannot wait to read issue 2. But it's basically about a gentleman named Shirtless who fights bears.
Yeah.
That is what he does. He was raised from birth with strength beyond that of mortal men.
Huh?
And there are parts in this comic, Mike, I kid you not, where he will punch a bear, and it will say bear punch next to him punching a bear in the face.
The caption? It's an onomatopoeia?
It's amazing. He physically punches a bear, and in the air, like the words pow or bang, appears bear punch.
It's an onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
It makes the sound it makes is bear punch?
That's the sound that it makes. Bear punch. As he punches bears. And the art is incredible. I don't want to say too many of the amazing things that happens in this first issue because
too late.
I just want you to, like, if you think Bear Punch is the peak of this, oh boy, are you in for a story.
Tell me more, though.
Like, okay, this is a world where I guess bears are a real problem. A problem that, I kid you not, the military cannot handle.
What?
And nukes might be a potential option.
What's happening?
And our only other option besides nuclear weapons
oh no.
is a man named Shirtless.
Yes.
Who for most of this comic, is 1,000% naked.
What?
And they do not shy away from blurring out a very excessive part of him. He is paid in flapjacks.
What?
And he fans the flapjacks like one might fan like a wad of $1,000/$100 bills. $1,000 bills are not a real thing.
Maybe.
$100 bills, like he fans them like one counts a wad of money. He's like, yes, this will do. He makes houses out of dead bears. Guys, read!
What?
Read Shirtless Bear Fighter. It is just incredible. I can't tell you any more of the jokes because you just need to experience them. It's so good. It's just ridiculous enough and taken serious enough that it kind of toes like a perfect line. So that's my pull, guys. Mike, what's your pull?
My pull is also something pretty special. It's an independent comic. It's from someone named Zack Soto, and it is called Secret Voice. And there's only one issue. It's about 49 pages. I actually don't know if it's going to be continued or if it's just this one-off. It seems like it could go on, and I hope he makes more, but it is just him making this. And I'm just gonna read you the description from Comixology, and then we'll just sort of see how we're doing from there. If you want to know, like, get any follow-up questions, if you want a little more info. So here we go. So here's the description of the Secret Voice of issue 1. The warrior monk Dr. Galapagos enters the Troll Kingdom to win their help against the forces of the Smog Emperor.
Jesus.
But things go horribly wrong and a heated battle ensues. Kung fu, magic, and monsters. And I want to just sort of put this out there. It's set in a sort of D&D-esque environment because there is a troll kingdom under the mountain and things of that nature. But the main character is very much a pulp character.
Oh, really?
Because he is dressed like a pulp hero. He has basically onesie with a cape. He's got a mask that's basically just bandages around his face. He has a sword. So he doesn't seem totally out of place in a fantasy setting, but he's also very much a pulp character.
He's towing the line.
And that's kind of the cool thing is, I mean, the description of the main series is Secret Voice is an epic fantasy adventure comic filtered through the lens of an art punk mark making kung fu and everyday psychedelia. The warrior monk Dr. Galapagos races against time to stop a massive war, save himself, his world, and everyone he holds dear.
Dr. Galapagos as a monk is just an incredibly interesting name choice.
A monk warrior.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. The art is really cool. The action is really dynamic. And it's just like fun. It's just like, hey, what if a pulp character in Dungeons and Dragons and whatever, in Lord of the Rings and stuff. And that's neat.
The question that everyone has asked since the beginning of time.
Not enough of a Sebastian.
Apparently not.
But this person has.
Wow.
And then he had an answer.
That's the most important part.
Yep. And now we all have an answer. And it's called The Secret Voice. Guys, go read The Secret Voice. It's pretty neat.
It sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pulp and D&D. Wow. Well, great pull, Mike. And that is our pull list. And that'll take us to our main segment.
Yeah.
Mike, kick things off.
Spider-Man, If This Be My Destiny. The year is 1965. The players, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, who are about to produce the greatest Spider-Man story ever while never speaking to each other.
Wait, what?
They are not on speaking terms as of 1965.
Yet they knew somehow deep within their hearts of the same story they were trying to create?
They somehow, through the alchemy of two guys who were in the middle of a business-related feud, managed to produce 3 flawless comics.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some real talent right there.
Yeah, it's true. And our story opens, as so many of our stories open, especially if Spider-Man's in them, masked burglars. But they're not breaking into a house. They're breaking into a plant that produces radioactive atomic devices.
You're right. This is like every Spider-Man story.
And they are running by clockwork, and they should still have 30 seconds to spare as they grab these sort of devices, and they're running out, and they spray sleep gas at a security guard, and they get into the helicopter. But Spider-Man jumps to the helicopter from a nearby whatever, and he grabs onto it really doesn't matter. He jumps into the helicopter, and he starts fighting the guys, and they spray gas in the room because they're all wearing masks and filters and things, and he isn't really. I mean, he's wearing a mask, but not that kind of mask.
Gas filtering masks.
Not a gas mask. And the rear of the plane, one of the guys is like a button keyed to a remote and stuff. He's got the headphones on. He's looking at some sort of radio. He says, just had a message from the master planner. Use emergency plan G to foil Spider-Man.
Wow, all the way to G? I guess that's to indicate that he really is a master planner?
So within seconds, the stolen devices are encased in waterproof covers with electronic signaling devices and dropped out of the plane into the bay.
I mean, that's very diabolical.
I thought you had more coming after that.
No, I just had a very big, I was very out of air, so I needed some more of it.
Sure. Then from a hidden underwater base, someone gives the code Task Force R, retrieve jettisoned units. So some guys in similar outfits, but with scuba masks and gear, not just masks.
Well, he wouldn't be the master planner if they were just equipped with scuba masks.
What happened?
I'm not moving very quickly. Also, I'm drowning.
And they go out there and they retrieve these units and they take them back to their secret base. Meanwhile, Spider-Man fights all these guys in this helicopter, and there's just sleep gas all in there, and he's punching them, and he manages to grab a piece of webbing off the door that he shattered when he busted in.
Right.
He grabs it with a piece of webbing, whips it out, and uses it to mess up the rotors of the helicopter.
Oh boy, so he plans to murder all of these people in the helicopter,
Jay,
correct?
we've talked about Spider-Man in this show before.
He's like, I saved the day! And then swings away as the helicopter just crashes to the earth.
So he actually gets punched out of the helicopter and in sort of the path of where it's going to fall.
Oh.
But he manages to web onto the front of it, spin himself around out of the way, and then he goes in, and the guys get away because they also have scuba gear.
Oh, hold on a second. Is this after the helicopter hit the water?
Helicopter hits the water, hits the bay, hits the
Did the master planner also install like rubber skeleton into all of these men, or did they like hit the water from like a really high altitude and were fine?
They hit the water from not that high of an altitude, and they were fine.
Okay.
They were not so high. They were high. Someone was high. Anyway, Spider-Man goes inside. I don't get it. It's completely empty. Where could they have gone?
All right, hold on, Spider-Man. You've invented web shooters. Like, use some deductive reasoning. If they're not in the helicopter and you're in a body of water, where
now
could they
I've
be?
seen everything. I know I didn't just dream the whole thing. I thought I was supposed to be the mystery man around here. And anyway, cutting back inside that fortress, Spider-Man's real smart. He's about to go to college for the first time, so we know he's smart.
Wow. Excuse me, teacher, when people disappear at sea, and of course none of us know what sea is, but if
C for Catwoman.
if we were to determine what it could it hide criminals in it?
Anyway, in that secret base, someone says, Spider-Man, I never expected that I'd have to contend with him. He doesn't know he's in a Spider-Man comic. He just thinks he's in Marvel's New York. Not notably less likely to make you run into Spider-Man.
I mean, maybe he thought he was like the Fantastic Four's villain?
By the purest accident, he almost ruined my plan again. I must be more careful in the future. It is vitally important that no one suspect who I am, nor what my purpose is until my plans have been completed, and then it will be too late for anyone to stop me.
That's an interesting point. He says, I didn't know he would almost ruin my plan by accident. I guess if you do crime in Marvel New York City, there's like a really high percentage it will be foiled by like just dozens of good superheroes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, shoot, Daredevil. Dang it. What day is it?
Well, it was an 8% chance.
Peter Parker is, running off to get ready for college, and he's, running around. He's doing his chores and stuff. He's getting his sort of initiation into college, his orientation and things like that. He's signing up for his classes, his registration. Oh, he's going to school with Flash Thompson too. Hey, Flash, how's it going? Drop dead. All right, good stuff.
This is going to be great. I can see you've grown as a character over these years.
I mean, to be fair, Peter says, if it isn't fearless Flash Thompson. So it's a little teasing, but also like perfectly civil.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Also, could be considered a compliment.
Anyway, he gets a whole bunch of books, and I just suddenly remembered how expensive high school or college textbooks were.
Oh, God, yes.
I just remembered that. Oh, my God. Boy. Yeah, they sure were. And he's exhausted, and school hasn't even started yet, but you know what? It's all right. It's good. And he's talking to Aunt May. She says, oh, get up early tomorrow for school, and then she collapses.
Aunt May, no!
And she did say on the previous page that she, didn't want to spoil his day by saying how ill she's been feeling, but now she kind of has to.
Peter, I've been blacking out and waking up in the hospital.
I'm waking up surrounded.
Didn't want to worry you.
And sure enough, the doc visits and says, I'm not quite sure what's wrong, but at her age, we can't afford to take chances. I'll send for the ambulance.
Doctor, where did you get your medical degree? What do you mean you're not quite sure?
I mean, to be fair, she's not yet played by Marissa Tomei, nor Sally Field. She's still, Rosemary Harris era.
Right. 1,000 years old.
Yeah. No offense to Rosemary Harris.
I guess.
But
That was
she's
more a comment on comic book Aunt May than it was her.
She is 1,000.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's taken to the hospital, and she feels a little better. The medication seems to have helped, but she says, just go to school and just go and get your education.
Aunt May needs to pop a pills, Petey. Get to class.
You'll always be fine. You've always been fine. Best nephew a person could wish for.
See,
so
she's high as hell on those
and
pills.
truthful. Anyway,
you never would have led to the death of my husband.
Peter doesn't sleep at all that day. So when he's introduced...
Wait, all that day?
That night.
Okay.
Both are true.
I would hope he doesn't sleep every day.
So the next day, when two students try to introduce themselves for the first time, a Mr. Harry Osborn and a Miss Gwen Stacy...
Wait, what?
He totally just brushes them off. And they're like, wow, that guy, your friend, Flash, he's kind of a prick. And Flash is like, yeah, that's why he's not actually my friend. He's just this guy I know.
Wait a second. Is this the first time we meet Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
College buddies. And Gwen thinks oh, he seemed nice enough. Maybe he didn't hear you. Basing that off of being a woman in a comic in 1965.
Unfortunate.
I mean, Marvel comics of this era were progressive in a lot of ways, and that is not one of them.
Sad.
And she's sitting near him and thinking, he's not as husky as Flash, but he's brighter and very attractive.
She got all that from passing by him?
Well, she gets that from sitting near him. Those are just very superficial,
Yeah, I guess
insights.
so.
Anyway, some other guy's like, hey, there's Peter Parker. I met him in the registration line. A real nice guy. Hi, Pete. How's it going? As he's just rushing between classes trying to go make calls about, hey, how's my dying aunt? Hopefully not dying aunt. And everyone's like, man, what? That guy's kind of a prick. And Harry Osborn's like, oh, man, he was worse to Flash earlier today. And Flash went to high school with him. Peter Parker's kind of a dick.
I mean, finally, it's coming to the forefront.
And he goes into the library and he's trying to study, but he just, instead of seeing the words and stuff, he's just keeps seeing Aunt May's face. And it's really well done. The thought balloon keeps advancing and covering his face so that he's burying his face in his hands, but only half of his face is visible and the other half is just the image of Aunt May. Yeah.
That's very creative.
Yeah, it's really well done.
For two people that wanted to kill each other at the time.
Basically, the way this was going at the time was, Ditko would drop off the pages and they'd be like, hey, do you want to talk to Stan? No, he has my notes. Leaves.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Peter's trying to work on science stuff in his science class, and Gwen's like, I still feel like I might as well just talk to him, give it a shot. I'm attracted to him, and she keeps, Pete, don't you hear me? And he clearly does not. I just asked if I could borrow your pen. Oh, yeah, here, take it. And just over his shoulder, doesn't even look at her. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Parker, but I changed my mind. Meanwhile, Harry slips something into Peter's chemistry cup. I don't remember what.
It's a chemistry cup?
It's not a beaker. It's a different thing.
A Bunsen burner.
No. It's one of the things with liquids in it. And it starts sparking and creating sparks and things. And his professor's like, hey, this is not a place for exhibitions. I know you won the science scholarship, but you better confine yourself to the experiments we're actually doing. Hey, sir, I'm sorry. He thinks I did it purposely, but how did it happen? And Harry's like, oh, that'll take that egghead down a peg. And Gwen's like, I didn't want him to get in trouble. It was just a joke. And they're like, yeah, well, it'll be fine. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So basically, he's burned all the bridges. All those bridges are burned.
Just right off the bat.
Yeah, it went real bad.
Oh, this is why Harry Osborn Jr. went evil.
It's almost like Peter Parker's life is designed to just go spectacularly wrong at every turn forever.
All the time.
And, he runs out of class, and Flash is like, oh, I saw the poor man's Einstein running past me like he knew where he was going. What happened? Did he see a mouse? Oh, who knows? Maybe someone once told him he's too good for the human race. And that's from Gwen.
Wow.
Yeah. But he goes to visit his sick Aunt May in the hospital.
Because things are going well for her.
Yeah. And then he, is told her condition isn't good. She'll remain here for some more tests. That's kind of all we can do right now until we know more. We can't be too optimistic at this point with her at her age.
Great bedside manner,
This is
doctor.
a different doctor.
Jeez, all these people are terrible.
But she mustn't be allowed to worry. We must try to keep her spirits up at all time.
Not you, though. Definitely hers.
So, here, Peter, more secrets for you now. Enjoy these more secrets.
Now, don't tell your aunt this under any circumstance.
And then he goes home and, oh, look, bills. There's all them bills.
So this is a comic about Spider-Man just having the best week ever.
Yeah, well, in the words of Brian Bendis, no one wants to read 22 pages of Daredevil enjoying a really nice sandwich.
That's true.
Anyway, he goes to swing around as Spider-Man because he's got to take pictures of himself as Spider-Man for that boss who hates him because that's the only way he can pay for his dying aunts.
It's a good life he's
and
living
his
right now.
college education. But you know what? Of all the days, there's no actual crime tonight. And he's just up all night. He's pretty much up until dawn.
That's unfortunate for his problem to be like, God, there's not enough crime.
Yeah, it's like, of all the days, he can't even find a jaywalker or a litter bug. Like, he's just like, this is the... And he goes home, tries to study for a couple hours, can't do that, has to go to class. And guess what? When he's, like, super zoned out and not looking at anybody in the eye, that does not help his reputation either. Everyone's just like... And Gwen's like, I still feel like he's maybe not that bad deep down. And Harry's like, how much proof do you want? Like, what more do you... Like, it's another...
This guy's been like 1,000% jerk to you.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. J. Jonah Jameson is just fuming. Can't sell a newspaper without news. Why doesn't something happen? Foswell, you're one of my top reporters. What am I paying you for? Sorry, Mr. Jameson. I only report the news. I can't manufacture it. He doesn't look like that. He's got like a pencil-thin mustache and a cigarette and like creepy...
Mr. Jameson, I cannot deliver...
That's closer. Sorry, Mr. Jameson. I only report the news. I can't manufacture it. Don't get clever with me. Clever people make me nervous. Just bring me a story.
Clever people make me nervous.
What are all those robberies about? Scientific equipment. There ought to be something there. Go find it. I'm on my way. He may be right. It's time for Patch the Stoolie to make the scene again.
Patch the Stoolie?
Patch is the nickname. The Stoolie is a descriptor of what Patch's role is.
Fair enough.
Because Foswell has a secret identity as a guy with an eye patch named Patch and no mustache.
Wait, what? So is in his regular life the mustache fake?
I don't know.
Is that like Clark Kent?
I don't know.
People cannot know I must wear the mustache
Or
at all
did he
times.
just like grow it out and is like, oh, I gotta go undercover again. Guess I'm shaven. I don't know. I don't know.
Why
the
didn't he
answer.
do that in the reverse? That in regular life he's shaven and he puts on a fake mustache.
Well, you know what no one expects? A fake mustache in real life. But when you're a
guess
criminal,
not.
you do expect a fake mustache. See a guy with a pencil-thin mustache. Oh, what's that? You're just a guy in the 60s? Or are you a guy in the 60s who's also a reporter? Anyway, we spent a lot of time on that guy.
We did.
Jameson's like, hey, what about that weak-kneed boyfriend of yours? This is not to Foswell. This is to Betty Brant.
Fair enough.
Why hasn't he brought me any news photos lately? I haven't seen much of Peter myself lately. I know. Haven't seen much of Peter myself lately, Mr. Jameson. He must be busy with his studies since school started. Well, leave me the message that I called him. Tell him not to forget about the kindly old newspaper publisher who's done so much for him in the past. And she's like, I'll do that, sir. Under her breath or in her mind, you old hypocrite. And anyway, she catches up with her ex-boyfriend, Ned Leeds. Man, it's almost like when Peter isn't a place... His life gets worse even if he's not there.
It's unfortunate for him.
As like he comes up with flowers, he's like, look, I'll keep asking until you say yes. That's a good message that we should be sending to people. Hey guys, don't do that. But movies and TV are all about like, nah, keep asking, it's cool. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not okay. If you're the guy from Love Actually, you're kind of the villain.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Anyway, that was a nice little tangent. Back to Patch, who's out there on the streets asking around, and he overhears about someone loading a cargo of nuclear devices at Pier 6.
Good job, Patch. I mean, that's a pretty good story.
He overhears it, too, which is pretty neat. But he can't tell the police. He doesn't really have enough evidence. He tries to tail the guy he heard about it, but loses them. He can't, like, get too close or he'll be made. So what does he do? I don't know. We're going to cut away. Gwen Stacy, she says, Peter Parker is the only boy I've met who hasn't given me a tumble. Stanley, I don't think that term means what you think it means.
Yeah, wait, what? It hasn't given me a tumble?
I don't think that term means...
Did Stanley think through that line when he wrote it?
And that's
or maybe he did, and this is a really weird interpretation of Gwen Stacy. Our first, I guess.
I guess. And that's a challenge no girl can resist. Oh boy, what's happening?
Wait, hold on. What?
Anyway.
This comic took a turn immediately.
She tries to talk to Peter because she finds his aloofness irresistible. Again, not how it really works. Not
really strange.
But he storms off and she says, nobody gives Gwen Stacy the brush off that way.
Wow.
Oh, she's kind of Mary Jane here.
Yeah, kind of.
She's the prototype for Mary Jane. She gets more like Betty, and then the new one becomes Veronica. But this is early. Anyway, we got a lot of comics to talk about. So Spider-Man goes out there and he meets up with Patch, and Patch is like, hey, I need your help. There's going to be a robbery. I don't have evidence to tell the police, but like, you can tell them. They mentioned radiation, and that seems important.
The police believe masked vigilantes more than they believe reporters.
Well, the masked vigilante can just stop the guys, though.
That's true.
And these guys sneak over to this boat, and they scale up the side of it. They went in under the water, and then they scaled up from the side of the boat.
How would Spider-Man have known where they came from?
And they shoot these guys with sleep guns. They shoot sleep gas guns.
I'm imagining sleep mask guns where you fire a mask
and it just wraps around
and
someone's
wraps around your
eyes.
face and it just puts them to sleep.
So, I can't see there's a light.
It's dark. It must be nighttime. I'll go to sleep then.
I'm like a parakeet. And Spider-Man gets gassed, but this time he's prepared for it.
I feel like he was pretty prepared before. He did bring down that helicopter.
Yeah, but this time he's got some sort of filter or something. He's stopping the gas from actually knocking him out. Because last time he was very wobbly.
Pretty woozy.
Yeah, but they drop a net on him, and he rips his way out of it, and he fights these guys, and they all dive into the water and escape. And there's a cop car, and there's Patch, and they're like, the cops are like, yeah, I guess there is something going on here, but these dock workers are just now waking up from being knocked out. And Patch is like, oh, but where's Spider-Man? And Spider-Man, by the way, doesn't know who Patch is.
Really?
Just like this guy who approached him was like, hey, like, here's the
How
thing.
did he get his number?
Patch, like, waved him down in an alley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also, Spider-Man forgot to take any photos, and now he has a chance, and it's just policemen standing around an empty dock.
I mean, I'm sure J. Jonah Jameson would love those photos. He'd be like, I knew it.
I'm sure he would not.
The cops are after Spider-Man.
And meanwhile, Spider-Man runs home and, or runs off to go find more things to take photos of. Meanwhile, the master planner talks about how he's getting close to his plan. And meanwhile, these doctors run some tests, and sure enough, all evidence points to the same thing. That poor woman can't last much longer.
My goodness.
How much time have we recorded?
Quite a bit.
I think we may have to pick up the next issue in our next episode.
Wait, what?
I think we're just gonna leave it at that. We talked about Amazing Spider-Man number 31. Let's do 32 next time.
Okay.
Guys, that was issue 31.
The story where Peter Parker had a whole bunch of problems.
Spider-Man's no good, very bad day.
Where I guess he met Gwen Stacy, who is a very different character than I guess what she becomes later on.
She does give him the benefit of the doubt for a while, which is pretty consistent with her character.
For a pretty long while.
Yeah, which is pretty consistent for her. And maybe she meant that he's like the first guy who's not obviously attracted to her, and now that still does not seem like...
I feel like Stan Lee did not think that entirely through.
I feel like he may have been writing 7 comic series at a time.
Yeah, it could be possible. And he might have been feuding with his artist at the time as well.
100% was feuding with Steve Ditko.
Wow.
Steve Ditko, by the way, right now is like... He pulled a full-on J.D. Salinger. Like, he doesn't talk to people, and he prints zines about his opinions.
Wow.
Steve Ditko is fascinating.
It's a very fascinating person. Also, great artist.
He's really good.
Jeez. Wow, all right. Well, guys, that was our main segment. Tune in for the next episode for part 2 of Spider-Man's No Good, Very Bad Day, and also maybe crime.
And also maybe his aunt dies.
Yeah, pretty dark. Oh, well, we know for sure that maybe in this series, it's good, so he can't make a deal with the devil, but maybe something else happens. So, guys, that'll take us to our game, Super-Mundane. All right, this is our game, Super-Mundane. This is the game where I'll name a mundane task or activity or job, everyday job, and we'll have to decide which hero of Marvel or DC would be the best and who would be the worst at doing this specific job or activity. For the Super-Mundane, it is, who is the best and worst? Dentist.
Interesting.
Someone who's got to, be okay with doing the tough work.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man? Why Ant-Man?
Wait, no, he hangs out in sewers sometimes and he hangs out with ants. I don't want him in my mouth.
Small in
the
your
Atom.
teeth? Okay.
The Atom's a doctor.
Is he a doctor?
He's a different kind of doctor, but he could do teeth
I've worked
stuff.
with radiation. I can work with teeth.
To be fair, first of all, that's true of every doctor in comics.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
They're like everything. Oh, I study radiation. I sure also do know about biology. No, you don't. That's not how...
Those are two very different
You went
fields
to
of
school
science.
for 20 years for one of those. That's your backstory. You stick with it. But also, sure, why not?
The Atom? I like your bitch is like, let's do it.
Let's give it a shot.
What about Mr. Fantastic, because he can make his little plastic fingeries like really get in there.
So
he can make his own personal floss.
What's a word? Excuse me, I'll just be here never stopping vomiting.
Or Spider-Man, he can make those webs. He can make his own personal floss.
Super duper gross.
I guess so.
The Atom, please. Let's discuss him.
Okay.
He's a tiny little guy running around in your mouth. And
I mean, I get that concept.
that's just kind of fun.
What is he going to do in there?
Dentist stuff.
Wait, okay, hold on.
gonna
I
clean
gotta
your
imagine the
teeth?
picture. Is he gonna have an adorably small toothbrush going in between?
No, they don't brush your... Well, I guess they do sometimes. But he's got one of those like little scraper thingies. But it's like a laser thing because he's an inventor.
So
it's
basically,
painless.
What will make the most amazing part of this is that people would come in to see people just sitting in a doctor's office with their mouth open, just with nobody else in the room.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Atom's in there just like fighting germs in your mouth.
Yeah.
He could have epic adventures at the tooth... I guess not tooth size scale, but like atom size scale in
The
between your
plaque
teeth.
size scale, yeah.
Yeah, he's battling the great king of the plaque inside your mouth.
And he would actually have like really good inventions that like super laser clean your teeth, but aren't like super duper hard. Now here's the thing. How does he have those awkward conversations with you while he's in your mouth?
Very difficult. See, that's where the other side of being a doctor comes in, because as we know, a doctor who can be a dentist can also create technology.
Because here's the problem is at least when someone's leaning into your mouth, I mean, they can still put the thing in your mouth to keep it open, but if the doctor's just like in there,
Just in
not holding your mouth open, it's like, just make sure you don't close your mouth, please.
I mean, it's a pretty great service, though, if you think about it. If he can just, like, hang on in there, you can just, like, he'd be like, show up at your house and be like, all right, here's your appointment. Just be sure to wash out your mouth in about 60 minutes. And you're like, wait, okay. And then he just jumps into your mouth and you can just walk around and do anything. Meanwhile, he's just in there cleaning your teeth.
I mean, I think you do have to just like chill.
Do you?
It's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go have some lunch. No,
Don't do it.
That's the opposite of what
I feel like
wanted.
the one thing he'd set up is like, look, you can watch TV, you can just hang out normally.
Don't drink water
Just
either.
don't
I'm in
put
here
anything in
cleaning
here.
your mouth. That's why you just got to chill. And I think it would be relatively fast.
Yeah, probably.
I think he'd be good.
What about? I mean, if we're talking about speed, what about the Flash? Getting in there real quick.
I don't know if that would be great for your
Here's
teeth.
the thing. I would
Imagine
like-
having all of your teeth cleaned simultaneously at super speed.
But then I feel
Oh, it's over.
that's what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. If it was positioned to me,
Interesting
if it was
point.
positioned to
Actually,
me,
you know what?
That's what I'm saying. If it was positioned to me, Jay, you can sit here and I will just scrape at your teeth for 60 minutes.
How long are your dentist appointments, Jay Jones?
I have shark-like teeth, Mike. I have rows and rows of teeth.
Oh my God, there's so many.
But like, you know, they do a whole bunch in there. Maybe I'm crazy, but like they scrape your teeth, they polish, they do all this crazy shit in there. If you just had the Flash, just like give me literally half a millisecond, and you might feel a tinge of pain, but it's just a second. That's it.
It's not even enough time for your gag reflex to start generating
Nothing.
spit or anything.
You're just like,
yeah.
I think I felt something. And he's like, done. Here you go. And you're like, wow, I feel incredible. And that's it. Like, that would be amazing.
That would be good. I'm going to go with the Flash, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have to worry about accidentally eating your dentist if it's the Atom.
But that would be so funny. No, I'm
You're
kidding.
like, crap, I forgot I swallowed. No!
Damn it. I'll see you in 12 to 24 hours,
Oh,
Adam.
no. He's like, it happens sometimes.
It's like, no, you won't. You're vomiting now. Who's the worst?
I mean, the Atom is... No.
The Atom's not the worst.
No.
I mean, Mr. Fantastic, that scenario you
I guess
presented
the
is
reverse
horrifying.
Flash. No.
Who's really slow?
Who's too meticulous? And who is too, like, he has to get he or she has to get every inch. Cannot leave any work undone.
Is there an OCD?
Like an OCD
Superhero?
villain? Or, I guess superhero. I wouldn't say villain, I guess, because we do heroes.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I guess Daredevil would be pretty bad. Well, he's got that sonar vision.
He'd be fine.
Guess he'd be okay.
He'd be not.
He wouldn't be great. I guess
Would
you
you
also
trust
wouldn't hire him.
It was all right. Yeah, just let me take these super sharp things and put them in your mouth.
No.
I'm sorry, Matt Murdock. I would rather you didn't.
Iron Fist, because he would charge the items he holds in his hand with
That's
iron
You're thinking of
powers.
Gambit. That's
Sure.
Gambit.
Oh my God, Gambit would be terrible.
Gambit has been our worst before for other things.
He has an unfortunate power that causes problems in regular life. What about this?
Uh-huh.
When you're at the dentist talks at you.
Yes.
You can't really talk back at the dentist.
That's true.
Because your mouth's got to be open. They're in there working on stuff.
That's true.
Who, and this is someone you got to be stuck in a room with for like 2 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's got to who's going to like drive you nuts.
Plastic Man.
Yes. I was angling towards someone like a Plastic Man.
Yeah.
But that works. I was thinking like of a Plastic Man archetype, but
Because
Plastic
also
Man is an option.
he can do that thing that you suggested is...
Which is also pretty horrifying. Yes, he's like, don't worry, let me
just
floss
get
your
it from a
teeth with my
different angle.
fingers.
Ugh.
He would not shut up. He would drive you literally insane.
Is there anyone who's more talkative, who's worse about that?
Because I feel like Plastic Man works well because of his plasticky nature. He can make his own tools with his fingers, which is disgusting and disturbing all at once. So, I feel
you're
like
right.
It's pretty bad.
Plastic Man. That's super gross.
Also be hilarious because, people always have goggles to protect yourself from the sun, and he has his own face goggles. I say sun, but I mean the little lights.
The
that he
light. I knew
uses.
you meant.
But he could make his own little mask.
He has it already.
Yeah, pretty
His
bad.
face is goggles.
That's true. Pretty bad dentist. Plastic Man would not be good. Drive you insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it looks like we've got our picks. We've got The Flash as our best,
That would be good.
and Plastic Man as our worst.
That would be less good.
Yeah. Getting those little plasticky fingers.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be God. Well, guys, that was episode 83 of Because Comics. We'll be posting a new episode every other week. If you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts, head over to partialarc.com. Of course, you can email us any questions at becausecomics@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and a Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. And be sure to check out more content from our comic boy wonder, Mike Christensen,
That's me.
at partialarc.com, where he writes articles every Tuesday and Thursday.
That's true.
Thanks for listening. And remember...
Welcome to Because Comics. I'm your host, Jay Joins, and I'm joined by my...
Jay Joins?
I'm going to do that again. Hold on. The joke doesn't work if I don't do it right. Welcome to Because Comics. I'm your host, Jay Jones. Your name's hard.
My name is hard? My name is Jay Jones. It could not be simpler. No, don't you dare. This stays in.
That's the
This
best.
catastrophe stays in.
Nick, don't cut any of it. I was wrong. Don't cut any of it. It was
I
good
don't know
as-
what you had planned. This is worse and or better.
It's so much better and worse.
Because comics.